Oh, here we go. This could be interesting. 170. Let's do all of them. Here we go. 170 hypothetical questions. I'm going to answer all of them. This just in. My internet's, for some reason, gone back down again. As you can see, the internet page is loaded fine. Except Ronald McDonald is there. And the adverts are taking a while. And everything is... No, is it loading fine? Okay. Give me number one. If you had a chance, would you want to be pain-free for the rest of my life? I'm going to say pain-free. Physical pain. No, because that is actually an actual thing where you don't feel pain. And it's like awful because you won't know if you've broken a bone or if you've broken anything. So pain-free, no. Emotional pain, no, I feel like it's boring. Alright, next. Would you take a 70k week job offer where you're paid to sit in a pitch black room and do nothing for 20 hours a day? Oh, hell yeah, let's go, let's do it. 70k a week though, and you're working 140 hours a week. Assuming you're working 7 days a week, or if we just say you're working Monday to Friday. Oh, you're working a long time. I mean, you could just sit in a pitch black room, just sleep. I'd probably just sleep. You get so tired, you just sleep. Yeah, sure. What would I hear if I asked a group of people who know you for 5 adjectives to describe you? Yep, that's self-care. I'm not doing that. Which place on the planet would you never want to live and why? France. Which famous person's body would you take over if you were a zombie? I don't hate France, by the way. It's just a British thing. Which famous person's body would you take over if you were a zombie? Tough one. Famous person's body. Like, obviously, who would I bite and turn them into a zombie? Because which famous bodies would I take over? Zombies don't take over bodies, they bite them, you muppet. Do you know zombies? Let's do Sally Amaki, who, yeah, the 22/7 idol. What would your first reaction be if I told you that you failed? Oh no, I know, you're a failure, yeah. I got that big. I'd be upset, I'd be quite devastated, annoyed, but you know what? I'll give it another go. I'd be pissed off at myself. Maybe I'd argue. Would you rather forget about yourself or forget about anyone else? Forget about... How do you forget about yourself? I'm going to say forget about yourself. Forget about my past. There's a lot I'd want to forget. Very embarrassing moments. You stay up till like 5 AM thinking about. But myself, maybe. Double checking. Will you be able to give 30 years of your life in exchange for allowing a stranger to die? What? So I'm giving up 30 years of my life and I'm killing one stranger. That's a bit insane. I'm going to give up 30 years of my life in exchange for allowing a stranger to die. Why would I give up my life? To bring me to death quicker. And I also get to take a stranger out with me. I'm sure this means, will I be able to give up, will I gain, do I want 30 years extra in exchange for allowing a stranger to die? If it's an extra 30 years, no. If it's killing a stranger and also killing myself quicker, yes. Would you take something that removes your body's need to sleep if it was given to you? Yes. Would you rather have to say anything that... Oh, no, actually, no, I wouldn't. I like dreaming too much. Would you rather have to say anything that comes to your mind all the time or never have to say anything at all? I did this anyway. Yes. I speak my mind non-stop. I have no filter. What mask would you like to wear if you had one for the rest of your life? That's what the mask is. That's what the point of the mask. Obviously, a dweem. Dweem mask. Oh my god, dweem. What music would you prefer if you could just listen to one song for the rest of your life? Oh, one song. I hate this question because I never know. One of my all-time favourite pieces of music to ever exist is Rachmaninoff's arrangement of Sleeping Beauty Waltz by Tchaikovsky, or piano, the duet. So I'm going to pick that. But then my music taste is so different and varied. I have like almost 1,000 songs just saved on Spotify. I was going to say 600 because that's just one playlist. My biggest playlist is 600 songs in it. So it's a toughie. That's what she said. What show would you like if you had to be trapped in a TV show for a month? And who would you be if you were the character? Oh God. There's got to be a show where the main character's like sleeping with tons of people, like women. He's living the good life. What's the last TV show I watched? Well, it'd be like Task. Oh, Brooklyn Nine-Nine could be a good life to live. Must be pretty fun. I'm gonna say Jake Peralta from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We can select a single colour that our eyes can see before we are born. What colour would you like to see? I'm just going to be able to probably see red, the inside of the stomach. Or the inside of the womb is probably red. So red, sure. Every day 12 new things arrive in your house, all of which begin with a letter you choose. It's going to be something common. But not something you could get tricked with. Like if I say S, someone's going to send spiders and scorpions. So I'm going to say V for video games. 12 different video games, so you get around it. So you cheat. What would you choose if you had the option of living for 70 years and being incredibly happy, or living forever and being unhappy? Living for 70 years and being happy. I'd say living forever and being unhappy, because I'm sure if I lived forever I wouldn't be unhappy. I just was speaking about this yesterday to some friends. The idea of living forever, in how I see it, is if you live forever, because life has an end, therefore it has a purpose, and because you don't meet that purpose, you get depressed. But since life, if you can live forever, you have no need for a purpose, therefore you will not be unhappy. So I'd say live forever, and I probably won't be unhappy. I mean, you see everyone around you die, but you get numb eventually. The Linkin Park song. How would you handle a situation at work where you were asked to execute a task that went against your morals? I'd sure go for it, dude. How would you like to be the President of the United States or head of state of the monarchy? Where would you rule if you were a monarch? President of the United States. Actually, no, I'd want to be Prime Minister of the UK. I'd give it a crack. What would you eat if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life? McDonald's cheeseburgers. Or the double cheese quarter pounder. Do you think you could persuade a co-worker to see your point of view on a strategy? So how would I persuade? Oh yeah, I just don't shut up. I'm pretty convincing, I'd say. Would I rather live in Harry Potter? Harry Potter. Why do individuals believe there are billions of stars in the universe yet have to touch their nose? They are told they have wet paint on it. Because you can't fucking see your nose. It's like saying there's a billion of stars. Yes, that's a fact. It can't change. That fact is there. But the fact that there's paint on my nose, it changes. That could be true, could not be true. We don't know. The changes all the time. These aren't really hypothetical. I mean, they're hypothetical, sure, but they're really not good for your mental health. What would you do if you go back in time and learn something sooner? How would you change it? How would it change things? Yeah. This is, I always say the same one for this question. Sixth form, learnt a lot about relationships, about me as a person during sixth form. And I wouldn't change it because I wouldn't know those things if that stuff didn't happen. Had I known, sixth form would have been completely different for me. Would you rather live for another 80 years and never leave your house, or live for another 10 years and are free to go? Assuming I'm perfectly healthy, living in my house, and I don't have to be healthy, 80 years healthy. 80 years in my house. Kill one innocent child to heal the world's diseases forever. Yes. Would you know what to do if you were on vacation and lost your passport? No. Which sport would you choose if you could be a professional athlete in any? Oh, this was asked. Badminton. Someone asked me this the other day. I said badminton. I said badminton then. I'm saying badminton now. All right. God, we got 120 more to go, or 100 more to go. I don't remember how many it was. What video game would you choose if you had to live for a year in the last one you played? So do I have to pick, or does it have to be the last one I played? The last one I played would have been The Legend of Bumbo. I was playing that earlier today. Great game. I don't want to live in that. I'm going to choose Legend of Zelda. Because that's the one I'd want to live in. Breath of the Wild, specifically. Which would you prefer if you had the option of ceasing to exist or wandering the world forever? I'd say wandering the world forever. Offered a pill that increased your intelligence by 50%, but also permanently removing your hair, including your brows. No, I don't take it. What would you do if you made a strong recommendation in a meeting but your co-workers disagreed? I'd be like, you can disagree all you want, but potentially I'm right if I'm making a strong recommendation. If they disagree, I'd hear their thoughts. Be like, why do you disagree? And then I'll be like, yeah, this dude is. You're right. You're right. Maybe. Travel the future and be the present. Do I want to be in my own funeral? Yes. What rule would you impose if I was the world's king or queen? Ooh. If you don't like something, shut up. Who cares? How would you react if you were required to accomplish a task that made you unhappy at work? I mean, you're getting paid to do it, so you may as well just do it. You may be like complain and blah 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 blah, but you gotta do it. What would you teach if you had no choice but to teach music? Enjoy music. I teach music. I learned music theory again. Forgetting every time. Would you be willing to have your left middle finger surgically removed if it meant you'd never get sick? I don't really get sick, so no. Do you believe that if all land was connected, the world would be a better place? Hell no. Would you be willing to forego all the first world comforts in order to live in a third world country and be content? So you're saying, would I give up what I currently have to live a worse life? No. What would you say if you had to sum up your life in 15 words or less? Pretty boring. I try. Sometimes not good enough. Sometimes not good enough. Pretty boring. I try. That was only 9. I only need 9. What would you do if you were alone at home at night and heard footsteps in your apartment? I would panic. Always do. You have a sibling or 5 strangers? Good question. Sibling. If you're offered billions of dollars to be locked in a room for 50 minutes with a huge possibility that when you leave the room you'll leave 50 days in the future, 50 years, would you do it? Yeah, I'd do it. 50 days or 50 years for 50 minutes? Decent trade. I mean, what's the worst? I'd like to see the 50 years. If the world's gone in 50 years, it's gone in 50 years. Where'd you like to live if you could relocate anywhere and yet make a decent living? I don't know. I do like the UK. I guess I've always wanted to go to Japan. So I guess I'd like to potentially not live there because I can't speak the language. But if I could speak the language and live there, yeah. Most terrifying historical figure as a ghost? Hitler. You recognise that making a mistake early in a project, because I'm Polish. I recognise making a mistake early in a project will cause you to miss the deadline. What would you do if you're in this situation? Don't make a mistake. Or you could I would just keep working, like even if it's like last minute to the deadline, staying up overnight to reach it, to make it good. Would your partner still want to be with you if they could read your mind? I hope so, because I say a lot of stuff out loud. So I don't think they'd need to read my mind. I just hope they'd be able to put up with me. Crazy dictator thing. What'd you do if you're the dictator of a small country? Crazy dictator thing. Oh my god. Whoa, I'd have a big ass mansion all to myself, and I'd just be like, McDonald's for me only. I like McDonald's. What would you do if you were working on a long-term project had to be finished by the end of the quarter? I'd just do it. I'd just keep working. I'd complain if it was that close to the deadline. What would you think would happen if there were no seasons at all? It'd be very boring. We wouldn't complain about the cold or the heat. So it'd be very boring in the UK. What else do we do apart from complain about the heat and the cold? What would you do if you knew you'd go blind in 3 months? Is there something in particular I'd like to see? True love. What would you do if you could improve one aspect of yourself to reduce another by the same amount? Reduce my annoyance. See, I'm smart. And improve by just being a normal human, like publicly speaking to people like a normal human being. When you know it's an endangered animal, an endangered plant, what do? Survival of the fittest, really. They're both endangered. Plant's fault. Building is about to collapse, and your mother and siblings are inside the building. Your best friend's 2 newborn twins are also inside the building. Which pair are you going to save if you can only choose one? My best friend better save his own twins. I'm saving. It's just common sense. Selfishness of the yeah. Humanity's selfishness. Which would you prefer? A great love? Yep, that one. Oh no, that lasts a year or a mediocre relationship. Mediocre. Nah, fuck. You got me with a tough one. A relationship. I'd want a great relationship that lasts an eternity. Mediocre that lasts a lifetime. No. Yes, because you'd miss the great one once it's over. What 3 items would you take if you were shipwrecked on a deserted island or a desert island? You could read. What would you do if you could read? A solar panel, a phone, and a phone charger. There you go. Which social media platform would you choose to own, and what would you do? I'd own Twitter and ban everyone that just is annoying. So 90% of Twitter's user base will fall. Where would you live, and what would you do, and how would you live if money were no issue? Communism. Yeah, I mean, I'd live in I think I'd live a decently rich life, but I wouldn't be like bragging rich. Like I'd want a tennis court in my house. That's one of the things I'd want is a tennis court. A house big enough to have a tennis court. You're walking through the woods. There's no one around, and your phone is dead. At a corner of your eye, you're walking in the woods when you come across a black suitcase. There's $1 million and a blood-stained piece of paper with the word "don't" written on it. Will you take the suitcase home? Nah, I'd leave it. That's too suspicious. Too suspicious for me. It's blood money. Imagine yourself with this business in 5 years. Would you want to be different about yourself than you are now? Yourself then than you are now. I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty content with what I am. I mean, I want to be happier in life, but that just doesn't. I mean, I don't need to change myself much to do that. To an extent. I mean, I do, but I don't. If that makes sense. So let's move on. I know what I mean. What strange thing would you make appropriate in society if you had the power? Calling people cunts. What would be the first thing you'd do if time machines existed? Go to teach myself, my young past self, what good you can do. No, I would go to my past self, be like, dude, first year of uni, you're gonna become addicted to Love Life. You're gonna watch all the seasons in like a weekend, and then you're gonna keep up to date with them, listen to all their albums when they come out, and you're gonna be addicted. Get into it now. And then Love Life doesn't exist then. Probably started in 2010, something like that. And then become idle trash early on. Would you visit Jurassic Park? No. Hyenas seem to be constantly laughing when they're being killed. Do they still laugh? When they're being killed, do they still laugh? Kind of demonic, but let's go, yeah. Probably says something about you. It's one of those questions, isn't it? That says something about you. What would you ask your future self in the year 2050 if you could just ask one question? Did we make it? That's that meme. No, I'd say, what's the secret? Or hopefully, did you give up on your dreams? Or yeah, just did we make it? That kind of. Did you get where you want to be? Are you happy? Sort of thing. Would you go 3 miles without shaving, brushing your teeth? Nope. Would you rather become more arrogant or more uneducated? Quite arrogant, and I'm quite uneducated. I'm quite dumb. I'm quite dumb. I'd go arrogant. No, I'm very arrogant when I drink, so let's go uneducated. What would you do if a classmate asked you for the answer to a question during an exam when the teacher was not looking? I would ignore them. What would you choose if you had to choose between nighttime and daytime? Nighttime. Just because nighttime is easy. It's like I work best in night, you know? I'm a night owl. I work best at night, sleep, I wake up late. What would be the first rule you would make if you were Emperor of the Earth? We've already done this with King of the World or whatever, so let's just skip that. What car would you turn into if you were a Transformer? Oh, my favourite one. Oh, Starscream's pretty sick. He's a jet. A car. I want to be one of the like a humble. You wouldn't know it as a transformer, like a toaster. Yeah, like the toaster. Wasn't there a toaster in one of them? Imagine you're hiking in the wilderness, come across a mile-wide ice-cold river in one day, and can walk for an extra week to the nearest bridge. Swimming for an entire day would kill you, especially in ice-cold water. So I'd just walk the extra week. How would you handle it if your friend resisted a new idea or policy you introduced? Would off with his head, obviously. I don't know. Whatever, dude. I mean, we don't have to agree on everything. I think the best friends are the ones that don't agree with you on anything, like some sort of hive mind. You know, they're happy to question you and stuff like that. How would the world be different if everyone were incapable of lying? Oh my god. Twitter would be shut down. Everyone on Twitter would be shut down. Yeah. The internet would be a mess. Like, the amount of lies on Twitter, especially when it comes to the current political climate regarding politics, people getting involved where they just want publicity or just want clout chasing.